And again, the Battle of Somhava. Curious to see how that plays out. Marta on that Yoru here as well.
EDG have been playing a lot of double duelists throughout the second stage. 4 of the maps in the pool, that has been their go-to, and it's been the Neon Yoru especially.
NRG starting on defense here. We're going to push off A early and find very little. And the sounds of that Al drone reach Scuba's ears. He'll have to play back behind his smoke.
And now this utility from Brock really just serves to delay so the rest of NRG can get towards B and play for this retake. You know, a situation where that Harbor is definitely going to excel.
Spike planted.
And around we wrap. Nobody will be first contact here. Up on the corner. Jenny as well, expecting a push here off connector, and he's going to get a Scuba and some ring out. Nobody doesn't have the stopping power to put NRG to bed. And it's on Smoggy. Smoke to upper. Playing by Coast here, but this is pretty telegraphed. NRG have a decent idea, so Smoggy gets on the move. Catches a glimpse of Som. Headshot to bring him down. But now Brock will be waiting on the other side, and Smoggy's got between a rock and a hard place. But it's a right click, and you'd sooner forget if you're an NRG player. Brutal! What a way to open the account, a Red Bull clutch off the rip.
That is absolutely stunning. I thought they nerfed that. That's what I heard. Nope. That second shot was crazy. Brock in such a tough position, being forced to jump from that cliffside.
Oh,
how
just a glimpse.
What a beautiful little tap there as well. Oh my God. And that's after EDG. They go for that heavy commitment, fight towards the link, punished for it. Oh my God, what a way to start.
And the NRG trade well into every other part of the map. That's a 3v1 that falls flat for them. And so EDG get off to the races in the best way possible.
NRG set themselves up for such an excellent retake with that early push out of A, Brock delaying on the site, all for naught.
They did everything right, why? But sometimes it's about the power of the individual. NRG have a few of those, though, to their name. Up towards tower side here, Gigi wants to take the fight. He knows he's advantaged in terms of weaponry. Jenny able to follow up. Plenty of plays on this crossfire, and Ethan can really only offer a token resistance. Tom down the picture. Another 3K for Smoggy. Rack him up.
He's looking ice cold right now. Smoggy absolutely on point. You know, now one of the things coming into this match that I was really looking at, speaking about this EDG double duelist, is the fact that they're going up against NRG, whom in their group in Stage 2 of Americas, 4 of the 5 teams they went up against were double duelist teams. They are so experienced against the play style that this composition demands that EDG in that regard definitely have to be worried.
But this is the first time we've seen Abyss make its way back into the pool since Bangkok, Wyatt.
Yeah, we had no idea what to expect in terms of the compositions here. Saw him under a lot of pressure early. Has to place the cove just to be safe. A shot.
Challenges through the cove. Cascade attempted, but Smoggy's going to find him through it. Perhaps Som shouldn't have stepped out of that. Now that mid-control firmly in the hands of EDG. They spent for it, and now they could go anywhere.
That's already 7 on the board for Smoggy. Absolutely crazy. A barrier orb is up in mid. It cuts off the B to mid link right now. NRG trying to re-clear into A main. Take some space. They've got Ethan pushed up in the corner, but at the moment he is all alone. Yeah, Brock has retreated towards heaven. This is dangerous.
Keeping across is too dangerous. It's a one and done. He can't even find the frag. And now Brock, from security, has to try and hope to put this push to an end. But EDG are going to run in numbers. 4 deep now as they tentatively make their way out onto A. Slowly into the backside. You can see Marta's trying to get in position, but Brock can only speculate from this spot.
Chichu just tapping that spike to draw out some of the util and does so effectively. Drone out for the re-clear. That's going to get the ping onto him, I believe. No, broken just in time. Swing out from Mata. Loses that isolated 1v1.
Paranoid here is going to put Brock out of commission for a couple of moments. Slowly here, through backside. Finally Scuba arriving at the scene, but it's a bit of a wasteland for him there, and Kang is ready to receive him. At this point, Brock might be better served holding onto his weapon.
No choice but to save. EDG converting on their bonus round now. Off of some serious aggression initially up towards mid, which is a benefit of having the Neon for sure. That is a lot of ground to cover for people that are walking at normal speeds, but not the Neon. I mean, that is one of the big issues that you have to confront when you're playing on Abyss. The map is massive. You have to just cover so much ground at all times. Brock going to be able to save that rifle at the very least.
Smoggy finally put to bed after a ridiculous opener in this game. 7-1 currently. Note that Simon's got that Reckoning online quite early, feeding orbs into him. Also kills as Jenny turned up on him.
And look, at least in Americas, this NRG team has a pretty deep map pool. It's only really Sunset and Bind where they were struggling. Everything else they were looking very solid on, and that includes, and I think that's really going to be the name of the game for them, playing for big retakes around this harbor utility. But they have to make sure they don't lose too much of that map control early, lose players getting picked off early in these isolated situations like we saw in the prior round.
Dart there. Not getting any catches. Kangkang's having to walk up here, and it's like a ping out on Ethan. He has to give that ground away, deploy the one-way, and now NRG scrabbling back on the side to try and get things. And spots it, Brock out in the open. Ethan gets involved though, saves his teammate's life, and Kangkang is down early.
Ends up being the perfect double face and the ideal situation for NRG. They have Psalm just jiggle peeking towards top mid right now. After
Pretty standard high-low.
Expired, and they can relax. They can slow the pace of the game, allow EDG to execute where they intend on doing so, play for retake with the Reckoning and that man advantage.
Nobody with the spike over at A. They're just playing for an info push-up, but Scuba and Marta with that high-low setup over at B.
Yeah, a little awkward with Judy swinging out while that orb was being taken. Smoggy catches a very low HP Brock on that rotate. It's just Ethan on the A side. Really, his only job at this point is to stay alive, right? Just teleport away back towards spawn.
The retake potential is there behind this Reckoning. So NRG might look to play a little safer off this side. It is just Ethan who's pinged out. Paranoia already loaded up, and there'll be a res here on Kangkang, bringing the Yoru back into the fray. Here's the high tide. More stall now. Reckoning going to be deployed. Slow orb at Ethan's feet.
There's just such little time for EDG that Psalm is ready to commit that ult.
Nobody on the wrong side of the wall here is going to have
10 seconds left.
Probably get to the backside at some point, and there's already a timer. Tick-tock! Here comes Scuba from the backside. Kangkang and Chitu have to throw down on the side. They cannot get the spike stuck. Chitu, last standing, trying to get away to tower, but there's a wall in his way, one of his own design. He'll fight for his life and lose it. Scuba for 4.
Well, that beautiful timing on the flank is how he collects those 4. NRG offers so much delay. I love that decision from Psalm. Rotated so fast to assist Ethan, who realizes that the optimal play became staying in the site. You know, just that added time, even from the res. Of course, you want to get that extra player alive, but it did buy some time for the rotate from Psalm to come over, and that Reckoning ends up being perfect. That wall as well, high tide thrown down. You don't want to walk through that.
Got to be vindicating for Bonkar, who likely called for a slowdown of play from NRG, which is absolutely in their wheelhouse. Defensive team with great drilling and fundamentals. They're going to have to deal with a bit more pressure on the A side, and it's a gate crash now as Marta repositions up in tower.
Just gets right back towards that heaven side. Still have Scuba posted up. Watching towards the cliff. Yeah. And mid, what a shot onto a jump spotting Ethan.
Now that is going to pull players in that mid direction. Kangkang very quickly getting a scope, weapon in hand.
NRG heavily indexing in the read that this is going to be a hit towards B, and as it stands, they are absolutely correct. Scuba has that still guarded.
It's volatile, messy, and Chichu delivers. Marta and Som trespass in his domain, and then punish for it. Scuba with the great round previously cannot hold his own on the site. Nobody digs him out, and Brock might be forced into yet another save.
Chichu is loving using that wall over on the right side to get over on top of that bookshelf and have to swing over top. We haven't really seen it play out, but it is a cool idea. NRG getting very aggressive there, trying to get the mid-round re-clear towards the orb, and they are fully punished for that.
That's looking going to take a timing there to push up for info. Doesn't pan out for them. Now, EDG, I mean, you hear from Kangkang in that press conference, says that he feels much of their run here at Champions kind of rises and falls on Jenny. But they're giving him grace, not putting too much pressure on the relative newcomer to this team. He's been put in a pretty pivotal role, right? Like the main entry, playing the non-Yoru duelist, really has to be able to channel and exude some confidence out here on the biggest stage of his career.
Yeah, a player who joined up with this all-time great squad midway through the year, was on their academy team, and has been playing some very quality duelist games to get them into this position. This is a great start for EDG. They've got NRG back on an eco, one hero rifle for Mata when we get back into this. Mata's yet to get much accomplished early in this game, but we have seen on several occasions throughout America's Stage 2, regular stage, and playoffs, Mata will have a slow start to a game and then suddenly go nuclear and bring them right back in.
You can never count him out. Not the kind of guy that seems to just suffer mentally from slow starts. And Mata has really looked to take some real estate here. Another surely. Jenny steps out, Mata realizing he's about to get pinched. So can pull out, over back towards the security.
Now just sending that gate crash back towards the B direction, playing A for the moment. Brock wants to use this timing to get some info towards B main. But it's in mid where EDG are just slowly contacting forward. With Mata teleporting away, they know that they can just garner that space for free.
Also double face for a moment there, but some might have to give it up. Might be able to put it back together here with Brock.
Crazy hard time just gets thrown down in the moment.
All right, classic there for some. Best he could do was Jenny. Once again, Smoggy doubles down. Nobody's going to serve himself up here as Cooper eventually gets the job done, but up on high, it was Chichu. Now Ethan has to come back in with nothing but a classic. That high tide's still in play.
Chichu is about to have an opportunity for a res as well with the spike going down.
Okay, somewhat exposed, but he's able to bring nobody back into the game, and he comes back with a Hunter's Fury of all things. Mata might have been spotted there, getting up on box here. Smoggy challenges. God, he's good. He has hit the ground running on stage, and now Ethan with only 20 points of health. Not remotely enough. EDG with a 4-round lead, and it's widening.
Smoggy is just having an electric game right now. 11 for 2. Comes in for the trade. What a transfer off the Psalm. That was sick. So sick. Bullets ring out from Mata. Damn, he is playing so well individually.
And that's after NRG get that first kill from mid, that push up for Mata.
Yeah, they just don't have the weaponry after the fact outside of Mata to accomplish much when the round gets scrappy.
Someone here, double face.
They've got a full buy, they've got an AWP on Mata, and they have 4 ultimates in their arsenal.
Kung with Dimensional Drift though, and you'll notice there's a lot to work with for EDG as well.
And we might get an AWP battle between Kung and Mata, or maybe it won't even happen at all. Psalm going down on that jiggle peak. Not expecting the operator to be in play. And this is really a matchup of one of the greatest operas of all time in Kung versus Mata, who I think is the best opera coming out of Americas right now.
Currently with the record at Americas for number of aces, and he's got it in one season. 10 aces from Mata.
Ethan alone on this site, going to feel the pressure of the Dimensional Drift, but this is simply to draw the attention of NRG towards A.
Can't be having that happen. Mata at least able to get out of trouble there.
Now NRG, they still do have 2 anchors on this B site. EDG trying to make their way here.
Kung had the gate crash away, so he's not involved in this stoush over at B for now. Mata's still able to be a factor in this round. 32 seconds left. EDG have got to go for it. Just for the timing.
That was a nice little trade. Still has that steel guard, and this might be the opportunity to use it.
Ethan managed to get up in heaven, though. Here's that Hunter's Fury looking towards Coast. It's probing. It's searching. Even a steel guard had committed to that effect. EDG able to get through those ultimates and now have a plant down for themselves. Paranoia on the Coast. Ethan hoping to follow up on it, and nobody dashed aside.
That was an excellent play from Ethan. The Paranoia into the teleport across. Nobody had no idea what was coming. Kung going to have to go crazy right now. Holding the cross, what a shot!
What a correction, but now he's out of the fight and out of the round. A very important relief valve here for NRG. Big buy-up, big investment, and it delivers.
Crucial second shot comes through from Mata. Ethan recovering that operator. I love the way that NRG played that retake. You had the 2 EDG players facing the cross. There was so much utility pressure onto nobody backside. Once Ethan hits him with that Paranoia, he's able to teleport right in this moment. Gets that very crucial kill. NRG's IGL playing that situation very perfectly.
Just a dirty flick from Kung there from Crows, though. Could have gone either way.
Yeah, that was mental. All right, Genie here with that overdrive, going to pick up the Bucky.
Early flash off rip. Ping on Kung, pretty telling. EDG are adamant, though, about this A side. Ethan hoping to stall this out as much as possible. Obviously, Ethan and Brock have been manning this side of the map. Here's the fast lane. Jian's going to go for it now. Not much to see here, but Overdrive got to be popped, and Ethan noted at the back of the side, but it's Brock there from Tower, gets himself 2. That's big. Both duelists out of the game, and he wants more. But that'll be the end of the A anchors. Now it's NRG needing to rotate in.
Somehow again, by the way, Chichu is just one orb away from getting a res. That is crazy. Nobody, what? A shot to find on a flanking Scuba.
A dirty angle for Smoggy as well.
And Scuba has gone for a play like that before. Nobody was reading that perfectly.
Smoggy's dropped down. Dimensional Drift notes both EDG players up close here, and nobody's really found Mata. Here's Smoggy yet again. Never far from the kill free. The left side at least. 6-2. Favoring EDG.
And even if he didn't find that, Chichu was already over the top, ready to fight NRG immediately on that retake effort. Fair attempt from Brock, who is a very trustworthy site anchor for this NRG team, but ultimately they are still overwhelmed. This is a critical moment though. Scuba on a couple of these retakes towards the A side has gone for that long flank through main. Nobody well prepared for that. Crosshair placement was perfect. And once he collects that kill, 3-on-2, where they can just focus forward, it's all too easy.
Here's the variation. The push up mid here for Mata potentially. Remains just at library for now. Kong has eyes for A main with the off.
It's high tide from Psalm gets thrown very deep towards the attacker's side of mid. So they absolutely know there could be some pressure coming from NRG. They could be walking down, trying to take forward angles, just as Mata is playing at library right now without Sheriff.
Portal closed.
Kong just making sure there's no cheesy crossfire setups in A main. The one-way is refreshed. Mata cancels out back towards spawn side.
Of course, Kong does pick up that operator again, which is of note. The mid-round EDG begin to gather up towards this B side, seemingly.
Yeah, Kong obviously can rejoin them easily enough with the gate crash.
NRG, they are gambling on this B site, however, so things could get dangerous for EDG.
And Kong couldn't get enough information about the lack of defenders at A. EDG can't make a truly informed decision about hitting this site. They just have to commit.
Psalm gets 1 kill here, will have the reckoning.
Jenny, set up here. Relay bolt going to be thrown out. Chichu follows it up beautifully. Jenny is now in and around the site. Making his way over towards Connector, finds one. It's the classics ringing out. Ethan gets himself a consolation. A gun recovered here for Somnak. Can he make use of it on the other side of this high tide? Gets himself Chichu, but it's going to take more than that. And Brock doesn't have it. Not this time.
These executes from EDG have just been overwhelming for NRG to handle. They had every single player on that B site. They didn't have the best weaponry, of course, but it still just looks all too easy.
Chichu, that is...
I mean, he's really been a menace as well. He's put up 12 kills. It's just that Smoggy has had, I think, the flashier kills and does have 14, but that duo are going absolutely crazy.
And NRG are really segmenting off the side as they hit it, right? It's Cascade, there's a high tide, there's Omen Smokes, trying to, compartmentalize these little engagements, but as you mentioned, they didn't have the guns for it. Now we're all turning up in mid. Fast push to library for Jenny.
Brock gets that Hunter's Fury online with a collection of the A-man orb. EDG taking a lot of space towards mid, just cycling these dark covers.
They've driven a wedge straight up the middle of the map here. And now, looking to give that space up, maybe punish a re-clear.
You can see NRG, they of course have concerns about that. It's Ethan jump spotting towards that B link side. Mata focus on B with the operator, but shouldn't have any opportunities to take a shot in this round. It looks like EDG, they're ready to just go for this A side, execute, and Kong wants to cut off a rotator with the op face down mid.
This denial of information and nothing spotted by the Aldro means that Brock is pretty concerned about mid to B, or someone hitting him from their side of the map. But now it's going to be a straight main push here for EDG. Scuba has to be ready. Shield wall, of course, active. Brock might have to drop down off security, off tower rather. This could be a wall in his way. He's on the side. Look at how broken up it is, but Jenny's happy to take the 1 versus 1. Scooby here looking to step back. Reckoning in play. Jenny, unperturbed, unfazed, unbothered, and gets his second. Plant stuck. Some falling by the wayside. NRG are looking out at C.
On Spare, just getting completely outgunned. Mata a little bit too fast on the shot just then.
Just some nerves maybe showing up there.
None for Jenny, pushes for more. Removes the operator from the map. And now it's just Ethan with that save. This is NRG also being able to start on defense throughout Americas, when NRG, for the most part, outside of maybe one map against Sen on Corrode, when they've had blowout wins, it's come from starting on defense and being an absolute
just crushing
wall.
Yeah.
But EDG are running them over. A lot of it due also to just individual skill right now. They are dipping them in the gun duels. Like, they are straight up just winning these fights against NRG anchors consistently.
That's how NRG are trying to set the playing field, though. With all of this controller util on these sites as they're being executed on, NRG are asking for these pockets of play where they can take 1v1s, but they are losing out to young guns like this guy. Jenny, just dominant. And again, was by their own admission, consider the wild card here for EDG, where they may rise or fall, and so far he's delivered.
I feel like NRG would really benefit from leaning a bit more into playing for some of these retakes. Trying to anchor these sites hard against this EDG comp is just not working out right now. Hong Kong spotting Ethan for a moment, but no opportunity for the shot. Taking control of A main, though, with this operator.
He's disrespecting the smoke, brimming with confidence for good reason. And Brook and Ethan have their work cut out for them, often outnumbered. Oh, that's a nice little connection of the Hunter's Fury. Nobody will be accounted for very early in the round.
Love that synchronization of utility. In the meantime, NRG puts all the way out of this B side. No way. There's no way. Mana just forced to retreat.
And again, that same info push off a B for NRG is shut down.
And Chichu has just had reses constantly. So despite that awesome little bit of utility pieces in tandem from NRG, a great Hunter's Fury from Brock getting that first kill, it's made ultimately irrelevant.
Tell you what, your knees start to shake when you hear that sound. Jenny is on the site! And he touches down with a flourish. Ethan not so much, he's a sprawl. Brock here has to clear this wall early on. That's not where he wanted that recon to go, and he can't do a damn thing to interrupt this plant. He is out of the game for now. Back by security. EDG have this one covered. As Som steps up, Mana's on the other side. He will struggle. Finds Jenny and gets his second. Now he's given himself a foothold back into the site, but you notice that EDG fall back to this A main hold. Can cover the spike.
Does have one flash to get out.
Step
Brock to drop. What a shot.
Yeah, dangerous. He wants the fight. That one goes wild, but Brock can only get one. For the rank upon rank of teammates, EDG step up to fill the gap.
Hong Kong has been on point with the operator on this attack side. Has collected a lot of very crucial kills. This B push was a disaster for NRG. They already had the opening kill in the round, and then they just give that one away. Genie threw down a great relay bolt as well, so Mata couldn't go for the trade, was just forced to get out.
Credit where it's due. Mata makes his way into the side off his own bat, finds those 2 kills, but by then it's too late.
EDG are just trampling over these sites with absolute ease. NRG trying to throw another aggressive play into the mix by taking very deep mid control, and beyond that, just pushing all the way through.
Yeah, Smoggy sniffed this out. There was a ping at that part of the map by EDG. They knew something was headed their way. Brock! He's on a rope! He's on a rope! Oh, man. Som at least able to find one up mid, but this is challenging for him now. Relay Bolt doesn't quite connect. He's stuck in the corner, but Jenny will dig him out.
Gets a lot of damage onto Genie, but that Guardian not going to be enough in that kind of engagement against a Neon. And now Mata's the one who's going to try to push for more. NRG are just walking it down in EDG, and look at how ready they are for this. They're double-faced expecting it.
Mata fortunate to be alive there, still opts to double back and challenge.
I mean, it feels like NRG are just getting desperate in some of these rounds. They're getting so aggressive, trying to hunt for kills, and EDG absolutely have their number.
Thorns activated.
Inside the smoke is Ethan. Opts to back out of it now, and they still want to anchor these sites. Last chance here for NRG to make an impact on the defense side, and they're down to 2. Scuba though, in a decent spot. Can't quite mow them down. And the last line of defense falls. That is a paltry 2 defense side rounds for NRG.
Absolute dominance from EDG start to finish. Smoggy went insane throughout that entire half. When Hong Kong begins to pick up, the op was just getting a number of crucial kills. NRG had absolutely no hope to start this game off.
Yeah, they got a chance to pick themselves back up in this short break, folks. We'll be back with the conclusion of Abyss right after this. Sick out of the gates on Abyss. And again, it's the first time we've seen it here on this stage, and frankly, NRG don't quite look ready for it at this level, but they've still got a whole attack side to show.
do want to reflect on the beginning of this game for but a moment, where Smoggy won a crazy 1 versus 3 on the opening pistol round that just immediately put NRG in a horrific position. They would have to do the unthinkable to get back in this game. We always favor their defensive side as their best side. The numbers support that.
That high tide obviously gives the implication of a lot of mid-control for NRG off the rip. Just now, Kang is looking to re-clear that part of the map.
Yeah, that is one benefit of running the harbor for sure. It's just being able to throw some of those cascades, high tides towards mid, makes the defenders forced to re-clear, forced to use util to re-clear, or just play in more passive positions.
Marta ultimately pinged out. That Sage Wall, even if broken, would force a wider swing on A main to risk the NRG at this point. Quite ready to take.
NRG have cut noise, broken part of that barrier orb in A main, but EDG have had no desire to leave this site. 3 players are ready to face this.
No body position as well, assuming some mid-control to be taken, but there's going to be no pressure coming out of tower here. It's just too easy for Kang. Decent damage done from the middle of the site here. It's Scuba up mid, needs to do more. Smoggy catches him with the Paranor in the way, past the Brook. Quickly has to throw down as he gets out of the dark cover. Does Smoggy again, has to clutch it up. Not again, bro. Surely.
Only 18 health for Brock right now, going up the rope. What a time!
He's going to drop one, but missed. Smoggy at 70, and he cleans him up. Job done yet again. This guy's got plot armor.
He's now sat at 18 for 4, clutches both pistol rounds. Yeah, this one is just cooked. It's done and dusted. It's feeling like corrode time.
Brock had to react so quickly out of that dark cover and had the drop on Smoggy.
What a shot!
Look at this, he's throwing a smoke, man. Oh, buddy.
Oh man, he only has 2 bullets. Has to reload. Oh man, if he had a few more, he probably gets that kill.
Just one, Wyatt. Probably would have been enough.
He had to drop. Oh, that's brutal. NRG obviously no choice right now but to force.
The deck is stacked against them. Coming into this round now, yeah, forcing for the rest of the map. Kang eats Ethan alive and then is able to get out scot-free.
This one is so done. It's time for NRG to lick their wounds, reset, and try to get back in the game on Corrode, their own map pick.
Still a good map for EDG, by the way. A very good one.
Yeah, by round win rate percentage, it was EDG's best map of Stage 2. They were winning 61% of rounds on that map. And when we do get there, NRG trying to make a foray towards this B site, using that Harbor util to do so.
Yeah, ping out on Jenny even before he got back behind that high tide, so Som just sprays and gets one. Not the pinged out target, but that's just a footnote. Here's Brock looking to step up now. Had a window before the relay ball connected. Ends up being a trade. Kang here still trying to command from tower with the Bulldog.
And EDG do have superior long-range weapons for these distance engagements on this site.
The flash was good, but not enough. Kang still brought down. Som with the Stinger, bring a bit of America's flavor into the round. Chichu has a challenge here through this cove, and he's ready. But Marta from long range, sitting back with this Sheriff. Chichu now with the Bulldog in that 1 versus 2. Marta checks, confirms, looks to have a swing. Chichu's gotten into half. The time is not on his side. And Scuba puts him out of his misery.
NRG have gotten the smallest of lifelines back into this game, winning the very necessary force buy that they took after getting the plant down on the pistol round. They recovered those Bulldogs, going to be able to buy up fully in this next round. That was dangerous for Brock. He just took a very aggressive line there into the connector, but does go 1 for 1 crucially.
I mean, it is the power of the Stingers that we see. The fact that NRG can set that controller util up on B, cut the side up, and a free ping on Jenny cost him his life.
A couple marshals on the side of EDG, but we'll be going up against Marta's Outlaw.
That first shot accuracy for Marta left a little bit to be desired so far with scope weapons.
He's been a bit slow to start today. But like we said, that has never stopped him from surging right back into a series.
Yeah, bro has range. I think we figured that out. I know NRG would like him to be on the upper side of it, though, out of the gates. Not today. Som's got the long line down mid right now. Vandal in hand, so well equipped. Jenny gets a free pick and a second.
Just to make sure, yeah, there were definitely 2 players there. Now I'll leave. Even tagged up a little bit in mid, but that's just a classic from nobody.
Double marshals in the round for EDG, by the way.
NRG really are taking their time right now, just trying to sniff out any aggression that could be coming from EDG. They don't want to rush things, and that outlaw one-shots. Kong's site going to be free.
He was looking proud as a peacock, in fairness, up on top of container.
Some of that standard util you're going to be seeing coming into that B site with the high tide cutting off the connector, cuts off heaven, and then that recon will get any info towards bookshelf.
Retake here behind Paranoia is an option. Relay ball at the ready for Jenny should be required, but it's just the supremacy of these weapons for NRG.
Cover going out.
Gives them a distinct edge here. Smoggy and Nobody showing themselves. Let's see if they want to risk the commitment.
And NRG, by the way, have done a great job accelerating players towards ultimates early. For this first buy round, they've got a Reckoning and a Hunter's Fury active.
And the margin of error is quite thin given the round total for EDG. They'd be encouraged to make use of them early. Always seems to be Smoggy. A warning shot fired off, keeps his head down. Mata with the cleaner.
That's Mata going hunting, getting really close to the dimensional drift now as well, just one orb away. So NRG have a very big advantage in terms of the ult economy to try and win out this first buy round.
But can they risk trying to ration these out over what has to be, what, 7 consecutive rounds, one to even up the game? At some point, EDG are going to come around with a brace of their own ultimates just to expend.
Yeah, you would think, you would hope if you're an NRG fan that they won't be needing to use 3 ultimates potentially to win this next buy round, but it's better to win around and stay in the game than allow EDG to get to match point. I think NRG will do whatever it takes, expend anything necessary. Again, there's just some of that nice util that you can get early mid-control with when you're playing with the Harbor. A deep cascade, recon past it.
All right, Reckoning here over towards the B side of the map. High Tide as well is going to cut Nobody off, and Chichu already has been given the hot foot. Okay, even that's going to be committed, right? Hunter's Fury in the mix now. Chichu's got nowhere to go. Literally caught on coast inside the Razor Bite, and Nobody got the drop there on some. No one looking in that direction, but Mata eventually flicks to attention. Smoggy actually wins out there at tower, so Jenny has the room here to assault the site itself before the spike goes down. It's again Smoggy to deal with Scuba. But he's down to 10. It's a tough ask. An expensive round for NRG, but they're still in this game.
What an awesome usage of those ultimates, though. They go for that really early mid-pressure, draw the attention, and then just throw that tsunami of util onto Chichu, who's caught backside. I mean, he's flashed by the Paranoia, stunned by the Reckoning, can't go forward because the wall, his own wall is placed in front of him. And he's getting hit by the Hunter's Fury.
Brook knew exactly where it was. No risks taken there on digging out that coast player.
Yeah, Chichu was no longer playing an FPS game. He was just passively existing. That was a sick execute from NRG. And they do still have this dimensional drift on retainer. They're getting close to that steel garden as well.
Big risk. Push off the site. Characteristic for EDG, but it's often Yoru that tries to make that happen.
And now speaking of, with those 2 kills, Scuba does have the steel garden. Obviously won't need it in this round, but for the next gun round, that'll be quite useful to have, so long as NRG can just close things out here in safe, competent fashion. It certainly looks like they'll be able to do so. Chichu on very low HP, healing himself back up, though.
Ethan, though, able to come out of that engagement without taking a hit, so it is, for all intents and purposes, a full-strength NRG looking at A.
And Kongkong has walked all the way out of B main, so the other 2 EDG players are ready to face on A.
Okay, Crash those, who's going to have to... 2 legs and a heartbeat over towards his A side of the map. It's going to be Nobody with the stopping power. Broke down as well. That's 2 with the Sheriff. And he's happy with that. Enough of an edge gained here to play that retake game now. With Kongkong having some time board to get in position.
Scuba on low enough HP that he's actually susceptible to just 1 Sheriff shot. Now Kongkong does have to activate that sheer wall that's behind NRG, and they're going to adjust multiple players to heaven. I like that decision a lot.
Kongkong is going to be looking at multiple barrels trained in his direction. See Som, the first to look this way. Cove dissipates. My goodness, Kongkong. Som's going to opt out of that engagement for the time being. And Kongkong's going to see what he can get. Not a whole lot. Scuba meets him at the door.
Shuts down 3 on the round. That early aggression nullified. Scuba has been an essential part of NRG's success since joining the roster in Stage 2. Had been one of the strongest challengers players in Americas for years. I think this opportunity for him was long overdue to get on one of the top Americas teams, and he has made the most of it. He has been such a consistent, rock farther on a 4-round run. And they've got a Steel Garden plus Dimensional Drift to play with on a round where EDG are beginning to get the ultimates of their own finally online.
There's that Kang op is in the mix now. So EDG looking at their most dangerous.
And for NRG, it's really just a question of when is Kang going to have the op, and they know it could certainly be this round with the state of the economy. Now, Mata going to draw some attention towards this A side using the drift, but goes right into top mid to get all of this info for the B executes come through.
Gatecrash also was thrown out there, so he turns up at Library, but he's very much in the belly of the beast positionally. Chichu loses that one out.
Yeah, again, he's just isolated on this back B side. Taken out by Ethan. Mata is offering such a distraction.
Yeah,
Look at
he's
the way
annoying.
these other anchors are like, what, is he going to push? And he's just not. He's being so patient.
This is really bothering EDG. They have to be so mindful of it. Just a timing push out of mid. Here's the Steel Garden, just as EDG mostly set up into the trap into the waiting arms of Mata. Only one has to try and get up, and Jenny catches him. That opens things up a little bit more for EDG on this retake.
But they are just going to save. Genie is so weak. Kang, they want to keep that off for the next round, of course. At NRG, they've done it again. These B-side plays have been really high quality. Chichu is going to regret being in such a committed position again. But, you know, crucially, too, yeah, it is just Mata's play towards mid was so impactful as to how EDG were forced to just play around his existence.
And then they got funneled into it by the Steel Garden. That definitely forced the save there for EDG. So that's another nice round from NRG, but it's heavily assisted by that sheer weight of ultimates. And now that edge for NRG has gone.
Exactly, and EDG were required to use none of theirs. I mean, they just go for a 3-person save. They never really got in a position where they were actually willing to use theirs. But for them, they're going to feel okay about that. Okay, we trade off 1-round loss. We still have a 4-round lead, and now we have a 4 ultimate lead. That's not a bad offer, honestly. I think they'll be okay with taking that.
Yeah, again, the deck's still stacked against NRG. They've given us a good run, at least on this attack side thus far.
Sam is able to collect that orb in B main. 1 away from the Reckoning being active yet again.
Again, they're playing around those early info pushes off sites from the double duelist defense side. Nothing served up for them this time, though.
Nobody does spot one player on the cross. That was Ethan. Quickly breaks that drone. Kang has been very patient in this position, and of course Brock is out of absolute necessity going to use that drone to clear an AWPer with the potential of an AWPer out of A main.
Kang had to get off that line initially to reset his Gatecrash. Now he needs to pick it up again.
Just can play off this one way as it's still up in main when it drops.
Here we go, this is about to get messy. Around the corner, catches Ethan. And that's your controller off the map so early. Reckoning popped now straight to the side. They go, Brock is down. It's a second for Kang. Mowing these NRG attackers down. Here.
30 seconds left.
He even uses the Dimensional Drift to get right back in. Hunter's Fury off the back of that.
Some spotted, no connection just yet. There it is. There's a ping on Som's position, but he's still going to look for this plant behind the cove. Mata looking to find backside, but he's going to be pincered here, and Kang is an issue. It has to be respected at some point, but no one is looking at the Yoru.
Scuba's on the reflank through heaven right now. Do EDG expect this, or can he get the backstab off? Chichu is ready.
Now, extra sensory perception for Chichu, and with the Sheriff, he's taken the vice out of the game. It's Mata side to slow off. One is good, but the second hard to come by. And EDG march one closer to a map win.
That is just a mental play from EDG Star. He goes right back in with the AWP after using his Gatecrash, and then dodges the Reckoning, gets this second kill.
Spike planted.
And then all of a sudden he's in A main again?
Yeah,
Okay.
he just pops the Dimensional Drift to escape, gets into A main. Oh, that is a crazy play.
Jenny now has that overdrive.
And it was only a matter of time until EDG were able to sync up these ultimates to win a round. And it's a classic as well, the Dimensional Drift with a Hunter's Fury.
You know, it was sort of said that it took a little while for Kang to acclimate to the Yoru style of play, but safe to say he's feeling himself now.
Now NRG going back to the well. They found that most of their success on these B-side executes, and again, it's just that high tide from the contour. Shelf. Oh my god, this man, dude, that's just a Vandal, and Sam is down.
Disrespecting Smoggy there, he goes for the spray onto the side. Now they'll try to find
Spike
Coast
planted.
instead.
No harbor util to actually try to stall out this retake that's going to come in.
Just Ethan smokes, really.
Overdrive could even be popped from Genie to just be that forward man. Yeah, there it is.
That's going to deny the line here, but Marta's already up there in tower. Picks off nobody and now can snake his way around through connector. Instead, Gate crash out to his side of the map, but Kung notices this. Does he know Brock is there as well? Perhaps underestimating the positioning for NRG, and Scuba attempts to go in with the shorty. Marta has to step up, step in. 3 for the round for him and Chi-Chu. Ultimate not in his favor in that one. NRG stay alive.
It has just been all about the B-side for this NRG team, and exactly what we were talking about with Mata is happening. It never matters what his start is. He always comes back into the game. It's crazy. He was totally down and out in that first half, and now he's sitting at 17 kills. Never lets the status of the game get to him, no matter where he's at. Doesn't matter how hard he's struggling. He just bounces back. It's crazy the resolve he has.
His demeanor, right, is pretty hard to rattle the guy. He's just, yeah, his baseline is pretty low energy. Doesn't seem to let tough performances get to him. All right, we are in vents already, folks, so that's going to be tower control on the A side for the attack side.
NRG have not thrown an execute like this at EDG yet. The pace of this A split. Chi-Chu the one anchor. Okay, that is some fortune for nobody.
Pushing it back through security very quickly. Nobody's trying to get on the site. He's made his way through the cascade. Oh, and the drop on Marta is good. He could interrupt the plant here. Kung dealt with though, and Jenny's trying to get this control of tower, but Ethan is locked down for himself. God forbid it's on Smoggy again. Sheriff to his name. That's all he's got to work with.
If there was anyone to pull this off, multiple clutches in this game already, and on the most crucial rounds. Can he do it to close it out with just a Sheriff?
Devious rotate here into tower for Smoggy. And he's got himself a weapon.
NRG still needs to recover this spike.
Very dangerous location to get it as well.
He's about to have one dark cover to play with, see if there's an opportunity to maybe use that.
It's to main.
Ethan, yeah, is even smoking off. Ethan is smoking off main right now on A. Just concerned. They don't know where Smoggy could be at. He could be anywhere right now.
Okay. But contingency as well. Arcaros thrown up in tower. That allows for a spike to be recovered.
And now they can plant back sight. Scuba is in a position to keep Ethan safe. Made sound on the rope, didn't get the silent drop.
Ethan hears this now and is starting to inch forward. Scuba ready to play out of security. Can Smoggy go massive again? 23 and 9. This would be for the map. Steps into the dark cover, gives it a tap. Where is Ethan lurking? Still on the other side of the boxes, and now Scuba's given himself up in security. That's valuable information for Smoggy. Still though, another attempt, another tap. Now looking in that security direction. Scuba hits him where it hurts.
NRG really slow the game down there, take their time, make sure they work themselves into an optimal position to close out the 2v1, getting that spike safely in Ethan's hands. Backside where Scuba can actually watch for him. They won't be in an isolated situation against Smoggy. Man, nobody had some crazy kills there and had a real shot at just one-tapping Brock. He was trying to stick the plant.
Yeah, headshot there, and that's the round.
That might have been, yeah, that would have been the round sealed. It certainly feels like it anyway.
Bro, I don't know what's happening. I keep getting shot through smokes.
Yeah, that was a little unlucky. A little unlucky. Armada has the attack off now.
Previous round, a good look for NRG, a set play that got them that early tower control on A side. This time a little slower in the approach.
And now the ult cycle is going towards NRG's favor with that dimensional drift. And Brock on the cusp of having the Hunter's Fury.
Yeah, they braved that power spike from EDG.
This
only
wall,
gave it one round.
It goes up from Chi-Chu, and that's going to make it very safe for Brock to get that Hunter's Fury, in fact.
Now the pieces need to be put together. A minute left in the round. NRG still seem to be convinced that A is where they should be ending. Clear of mid here, spotting out some. Who's next? Dimensional drift just to clear the way.
The rest of NRG temporarily going to be halted by that slow warp. Chi-Chu obviously spotted out. There's that Hunter's Fury right onto him. Mata can just pop out, but it doesn't even need to. Brock with the accuracy.
Chi-Chu had nowhere to go. When now Mata can get himself up into tower. He sees the bullet traces come through from Jenny. And he's got backup. Ethan will join him. Cove for the plant. Kung here trying to get into vents maybe from mid. There's a chance at a timing here on Ethan.
That spike is planted for these Heaven players, but Ethan going to need to win this 1v1.
Turns it. Flash, what a flick! A correction that brings Kung to his knees. And now nobody in Smoggy do not have the money to take the risk. They have to get the heck out and allow NRG within 2 rounds. Are pushing us to overtime.
The value of that ultimates comes through for NRG yet again. They work the map a bit with the op, which may be lost.
Smoggy with a casual 25 kills in regulation.
That is crazy. But respect to the NRG players who've been able to surge up the scoreboard after an abysmal start. I mean, that's 22 for Scuba right now.
I mean, what a great use of the Dimensional Drift Hunter's Fury combination.
Yeah, it is just the classic play.
This is deterministic. Chichu genuinely has nowhere to go.
He has been getting caught on a lot of these site executes. He's anchored in pretty hard positions most of the time.
That's their world champ did.
And it's being exploited.
Some frustration you feel starting to brew.
He's hacking for sure. He's hacking for sure.
8 of the last 9 rounds, won by NRG.
Now EDG priced into a very weird kind of half-buy, but they've got an op and 2 rifles. It's peculiar to say the least. Mata has gone ahead and picked up the Outlaw for this round, and a great opportunity to do so. There's only one player on EDG with the full armor. That's nobody.
And again, Brock positioned for a push off the site. EDG have become a little bit more patient with those after Jenny got punished a couple of times consecutively. Kong is asking for more, the punish! Yoru down, up in his hands, clattering to the ground.
Absolute patience here from NRG. Cascade now thrown towards this B side, and the flash confirms that EDG have actually pushed in front of it. And off that audio cue, NRG, they want to hit the go button towards this A side, assuming there's multiple players pushing down. That assumption is correct. They are delayed on account of having to break this wall, further delayed by a slow orb as well.
Chichu just disrespects it. Paranoid doesn't catch on to him now, but surely there's something in place for that tower player. And yes, it's a multitude of barrels pointed that direction and a hail of bullets that brings Chichu to bear.
Genie just trying to get into the site to assist. Too little, too late. And EDG are once again just hurled into a save position. NRG can certainly go hunting.
Nobody looking for some garbage time frags, and Scooper is going to be handled. The money, though, still good enough for NRG.
I mean, nobody would be happy to get some kills here, honestly. Gets that Hunter's Fury for the final round of the game to try and close this out.
Weapon, though, stripped from his grasp. Notice the money. It's going to be another weird force-up for EDG to try and avert an overtime scenario as NRG have all the momentum.
Bear in mind, it was a 10-2 half for EDG to kick this game off. And NRG have clawed this all the way back on the attack side. Their weaker side. That is stunning from them.
Yep.
The players with so much resolve. Scuba having a fantastic game, as is Brock.
That is disgusting.
Mata right back into it after a pretty tragic start. And EDG are going to be forced onto this timeout to try to close out the game.
Can EDG lock it down here? Looks like maybe a push-up mid here for Jenny early. Trying to drive a wedge. Of NRG on this attack side. Here's round 24, lock in.
Mata does have that operator once again. Out of the timeout, EDG, they want to get very proactive towards mid. Look at this pushdown from Kong. He might meet Ethan right through the corner of the wall.
All right, rack one up for the Guardian fans early in the round.
It's just having that higher bullet penetration damage. Ethan out of the round, but they are running a double controller comp. If they weren't, man, it would feel over for NRG. But they still have that high tide to execute with.
Still have the Steel Garden and the Reckoning too.
They want to go towards this B site. They've won a number of rounds over there. I think their best executes have been on the B site, really.
Mata's posted up. He's seeing nothing from B. Again, they have to plant coast, otherwise Smoggy will threaten to spray them down as they try and plant again.
Psalm just creeping forward, all of the space taken for free. Smoggy dodges out that arc rose.
Here comes the controller util. Cascade to block. Smoggy will be spotted out by this owl drone. Important information here for NRG.
And the spike is going down back sight. EDG, they've got the Hunter's Fury for the retake, but Scuba is going to initially use this Seal Garden up close. That's just going to be a lot of delay, time wasted for EDG. And then next, it's going to be the Reckoning, cycling these ultimates to just cause so much delay. It's going to make EDG scramble late to get this spike diffused.
They're playing completely off the site. NRG just careful about a potential flank here. Hunter's Fury for nobody. That's Brock being brought down a second for Kung, and there goes Scuba. Now what? So on the other side of that high tide, Marta chimes in from close depth, and that's the spray for two. It's on Chichu and Kung to stop the overtime. But it's Marta now ready to receive around the corner and straight down the abyss. We get overtime in our first map of the series. It doesn't get any better than this.
And you had to believe that all of NRG's work was for naught when those players go down, when it's left to just Som and Marta. What on earth? That transfer from Ethan with the Vandal catches Ginny on the entry. And Marta holding the cross.
Some with the correction there as well.
And just lives for a bit. Marta pushes onto Chichu, ready for the jump. Unbelievable.
Like, come on, man! Like, come
How
on,
have
man!
they done it? EDG were up 10-2.
10-2's the new 9-3, Wyatt.
And they won both pistol rounds. Both of them.
Deep breaths. EDG on the attack side now as we begin overtime. Glass cannon up for Marta, as is customary. He'll have that mid lockdown for now.
Drone going up this B side. At the moment, all of EDG stacked up, just using that clone to activate the shear wall, remove that piece of passive info gain from the map.
Dangerous here for Scuba. Might be seen through a corner.
This is a position he's been playing very frequently back when they were on defense.
Kung opts not to cross there. So getting pressured. Jenny out of nowhere. Scuba at least able to take a trade. Found nobody. Kung gets involved again. Brock just walked into the sideline of Chichu there. It's breaking down all across the map. Planted coast.
They've really just been rooted out of the common positions they were playing. Ethan at least does get the one back onto Chichu, who is holding the cross.
Means NRG have a real shot at a retake.
Kong somehow, by the way, has a dimensional drift at the moment.
Spotted out onto Smoggy. Nice little connection. Kung down. Defends on Jimmy.
Jimmy's isolated off that teleport.
It doesn't seem to matter. He'll take the fight either way. And even Marta can't make the flick. Jenny on his feet. And EDG secure themselves a match point.
And maybe they can close this out on OT. They finally get a reprieve from the nightmare of playing defense. They're back to their favorite side. They immediately convert. They immediately root out those NRG anchors from the B side. They were playing in much the same positions that they did when they were running defense before. Scuba kind of pressed forward towards that cliff and punished yet again.
What a moment for the newcomer to EDG. He was isolated, essentially alone. But the two players in tower for NRG concerned about the individual off the site on NRG's side. And not the duelist threat right under their nose. Both teams opted to take a timeout there. So an extended pause. NRG wanted to concoct something for this attack side, which looks to us this early A presence.
And they will be going up against the operator for Kong, which has been dominant on this map. It's Chichu just in A main at the moment.
Okay, Brooks sees a recon come out of vent there.
That door is broken very early, and there's going to be a drone down mid.
Chichu with a slow orb now. Sees the clone come through. Flash on him. He has to retreat. Play back in tower.
Now, that is a lot of utility expended.
I think they're serious about this. They've even thrown in this paranoia. They want the plant here on the A side.
They are going for that full re-hit Cove down to try and get the safe plant for NRG. They've been doing a good job taking space after the plant has gone down on prior rounds. They want to do it again.
What a shock dart to force nobody back. That lets Marta get up rope. He could have been pushed up while he was climbing, but through the smoke, Chichu is able to find him. Now Ethan will stall. Smoke up towards tower, and he'll occupy it himself.
Ethan just biding time in the smoke is going to have to make a serious play happen. Gets the first.
And he got away with it as well. That is ridiculous. Now TP back to a safe haven in A main. Som up on the site. Waiting for this push around the left side. And there's Jenny. Serves himself up. Resell up for EDG, though, but time is not on their side. Ethan spraying at the spike location as Chichu has to give it a tap. He's brought down. What's the contingency here for EDG? No other option but to stand and face the music. And it's not the track they would have picked. Sorry, guys. guys. NRG's got the jukebox now.
That was a beautiful game plan from NRG. They get all of the util out of Chichu, re-hit with that high tide up. They push for the heaven control. Mata goes down. Disastrous that he sprayed through the smoke. But Ethan retains that position. It's bold. He gets his one and then teleports back to main. A second high tide goes up from Psalm, canvases the site, but leaves the spike open. He gets forward while the rest of them are able to just play spam with the Phantoms in main.
Yes! Good call.
Really sick game plan. Worked exactly as they drew it up in that timeout.
Now away we go. Second innings of overtime. And here's Mata in an odd spot. Nobody was able to find two. Around that, though, was Ethan going down first, so your stall potential severely limited on the defense side. And Brock sees a shoulder peek. Jenny gobbles him up.
Brock absolutely needed to get that one and really thought that he would. Sam is creeping back into the site. He needs to make a heroic play, but he's caught by Jenny.
And Aldrone is a problem. Some ice at the sky. Doesn't see the threat right in front of him. Scuba is in a 1v4. This is NRG just fighting to avert a map loss at this point. High-low set up there. Jenny slides on in, takes the fight, and converts.
Jenny has had absolutely no lack of confidence given the weight of this game, the situation that EDG are in, the prestige of the team that he's found himself on at such a critical moment in their history.
Strange variation, isn't it, from NRG to push up and aim in and take
They
the fight.
just want to try something new. It's just something that they haven't done before, right? And nothing else has worked, so hell, let's throw a curveball at them, but it doesn't pay off.
Now, how many ideas do EDG have left on their defense side? That's our question.
And this cascade is going to be thrown out over towards a main from Psalm, trying to apply some pressure. It's a high tide towards mid. NRG are making it feel like they are pushing up multiple lanes of the map right now, which is true, but it's the B side that's one of them.
Mata by no means is committed. Can always pull the plug with a gate crash should he need to. Ping on Genie, he might want to take a fight, realizing his window is closed.
And with that drone coming through vent from nobody, Mata absolutely has to retreat.
Now Genie to reposition towards B.
Mata sticking around mid for just a moment, has to gate crash to get back towards the team, while they are really trying to get these orbs onto Psalm, get a reckoning for this round. Wow, Mata, he hears Kong Kong on the retreat. He knows he went up into heaven. He's taking this timing off that audio
Oh,
cue.
the gate crash! That could have been awkward. But Kong Kong is noted by Mata. He is in the perfect spot to punish him. And how? He gets it up with full armor.
That's so sick. Can hold the angle towards spawn now. They've left Ethan as this late wrap towards mid. Is nobody aware? He's got an idea that it's certainly possible.
Now, it's been confirmed. He can't win the fight out, though. Ethan, in many of those crucial 1v1s away from the play, has found success.
And at that, Psalm, with that effort to round the world, get the orbs, get Psalm the plant, they have the reckoning as well. And Mata, ready on the angle, is always so sick with the flick shots.
Eventually he'll be brought down. That's Chichu making his way in through security. Naturally, EDG just have to go for this.
Last player
Chichu picked off up on side, and now it's on Jenny. Fast lane to maybe cover the sideline. And some riddles him with bullets.
Feels like this one might be going all night, bitch.
Okay.
Switching sides.
That's fine. It's just day two. We have energy in great reserves.
Surely at some point, one of these teams will figure out how to win a round on defense. It's only a matter of time.
I mean, both have been mixing it up, or at least attempting to.
Yeah, they've been trying, but
Mata just off his own timing, able to explore onto that A side. Just want the gate crash back for Kong Kong is what unravels them.
yeah, and he hears Kong Kong running away. That's when he calls for everyone to rotate back. That's when he gets into the site.
He's shot to the top of the scoreboard, by the
Mata
way.
is back to that glass cannon operator, used it in the first OT round.
Tom pinged out. Rather unperturbed, but knows there's going to be pressure headed in his direction. He'll opt to leave the
Yeah,
code.
he needs to run. EDG are all the way up mid with both the duelists at the moment.
Still plenty of ability to stall here as they back up.
But they're pivoting into this B-split right into the op angle.
Jenny picked off. Scuba has been left as an insert here, and if Chichu challenges and isn't ready for it, that's the spike that goes loose. Now on the side is Kong Kong. How's he supposed to fight off this?
Wall up in mid, nobody going to be spotted up on account of that flash, the audio cue, the ping.
Straight up shield wall here for NRG. They've all congregated around this spike drop.
Kong Kong doesn't have a flash to pop out of this dark cover, just has to wait for it to expire. Straight up raw gun duels need to be won by him in heaven.
There's layers of double swings here set up for NRG. Potentially, Scuba finds the first. That's the Oru down. Marta always good on the angle. And NRG finally gain advantage in this overtime with a flawless.
And this might just be it. NRG finally have the lead in this game. They finally convert around on defense. Mata with this operator completely catches out EDG on that B split up mid, and Scuba tucks in the corner. Mata makes it seem like he's the only presence there. Scuba has been playing so many really dug in B-side anchor positions. Bongar trying to remain cool, calm, and collected that time.
Just the first map of the series. Kankang with an early push up into main, and Mata is felled instantly. Ethan considers standing and fighting, but knows he's not favored.
No, Kankang, he wants to keep this going.
But this is wild. TP forward, Jenny's on the line. Timing favors Ethan, and he's got himself up mid-Wyatt.
Another rest of NRG, they're congregating towards B main, that cascade going into the site. Ethan playing around this high tide.
Smokey has to get off the side. It's so dangerous for him to be there.
Knows he can get out now. That recon doesn't ping anyone at bookshelf. All of NRG moving up towards this site. They're not close to any ultimates at the moment, not like that last round where they had the reckoning. This is just an honest 4-on-4 retake. Kankang still has a lot of util in that kit. Chichu could even try to wall to defuse the spike. There are options for EDG on this retake.
Ethan's just refreshed the smoke. Kankang has to challenge it and he wins it out. Brock now aware that Interlopers could be coming down from heaven, but he's ready and connected. Chichu gets the better of him now. Around the corner, EDG out of absolutely bloody nowhere. And said 30 rounds is not enough for us. Bring us another.
Suddenly both teams just decide it's time to win the defensive round. NRG make you believe that this is the moment to close it out. They get the lead, they get the spike down, it's a 4-on-4. But Kankang wins that important initial duel against Ethan. EDG able to just retake back into connector off the back of it.
Massive, massive round.
We just keep going.
Mata is up to 28 kills.
After an abysmal start on this map, that is the most Mata-coded result. How does he always get away with this?
Time to jump.
Couldn't have set it up any better, and now NRG need to win another defense side round. Oh, buddy. Little shock dart there.
Fair little bit of damage. Onto Kankang, who will retrieve that orb. Wants to get close to that dimensional drift. Uses the clone in case the wall was placed there, but it is not. It's over on that B side.
Now, EDG really haven't worked any of the rest of the map. They're in the dark.
You can see this adjustment, I think, from NRG. They have that wall deep on B because they've been getting exploited on the executes with Genie running deep into the site. And now they'll know when that's the case, when that wall gets activated. They're doubled up, face towards main.
That sets them up for a fallback as well off that high-low position on B, should they desire it. This is glacial compared to most of EDG's attack side rounds.
I mean, that last one was just a burst pop, split onto B. And now NRG, they want to adjust their positioning, given that the drone has spotted out their idea of that high-low.
Scuba didn't show himself to it, though. No guarantee about where the Vice is set up.
30 seconds on the clock, EDG, they're gathering up towards A main, and look at NRG. They know what's up. They're already on the move, trying to get to the safe side. They need to support their anchors in time.
Paranoia might slow things down a little bit here, but EDG know they've got to commit. Brock waiting for a ping, sees Jenny. Dodging, ducking, dipping, dodging, diving away. Down to about 40%, but here's Som. Kankang takes the fight at the back of the side, but Som's able to find his second. Kankang sees nothing but a clone. Som waiting for him to show up.
10 seconds.
Kankang on the side, it's Brock making use of the wall that Chichu's been abusing all game long. At 4 for Som. Just firm handshakes for the boys. As NRG again find themselves on map point.
Unbelievable play from Som. Goes
10 seconds left.
for those two 1v1s. Gets the win on both. Then stays alive, playing around the high tide, throws down the cove, swings out while the rest of the team offer up the distraction, fighting forward.
Yeah, you got to doubt the boys up.
Crazy play. There's the energy from Bongar coming back. NRG with another opportunity to now close this game out.
And EDG back on defense. Once again, an early info push. We'll tell them that a rotate might be in order.
All of NRG gathered up in spawn towards this A side. Chichu once again playing the anchor on this position. This time the wall far deeper. Still has a slow orb in the kit as well to just offer some stall for this flanking effort from EDG to come to fruition. They're all the way basically in the attacker spawn at this point.
Nobody, of course. The recon from Tower will be crucial. He might have a chance to make use of it. The spray takes him low. Marta not able to finish the job, and unwise to just how low he's gotten this over.
This is new from EDG to have so many players retaking from the flank. NRG have been playing for that main spam a lot.
No plant yet. They're going to fight into security now in numbers, and they roll over Chichu and nobody. Now it's up to Smoggy inside Tower, and from A main come the rest of EDG.
It's the perfect adjustment at the perfect time from NRG.
Brock low, sprayed down, sat in the relay bottom, still alive somehow. Jenny puts him out of his misery though. Favouring NRG, still in numbers. They're playing at the back of the site, but they've got to make a move. And here's Jenny, steps up on his own, brought down. Kun can't succeed. And Smoggy can't bail them out. From 2 to 10 and half.
Map. They have been one of the absolute best in Americas here, if not the best. And last we saw them play it, they destroyed Sentinels on that attack side.
But this is statistically EDG's best map, Wyatt. They have had so much success on Corrode so far. It is starting off with the front foot.
Is that just 2 spam kills?
It looks like it.
Top smoke?
There was a smoke there.
I'll need to see that on the replay.
But
seems like some good fortune to get back into this game after a really tragic defeat on map 1.
There's obviously an exchange of shots. Jenny down to 50, but there's great intuition there for EDG. Know exactly where to be looking.
A site now, very open.
Spike planted.
Just have to deal with Mata back site. Assam, Scuba going to gather up. The 3 of them all trying to get back in from this same side. They are smoked off, though, by that dark cover.
Yep. Dark cover will allow them at least to assemble themselves before trying to flood here with their remaining 3. Here's Mata. He can refresh if he needs to, but trade it out before he can get on away. It's on Scuba in a 1v2. Tough to win these, especially on the reload. Chichu brings him down.
Chichu has that late wrap coming through elbow for the backstab to make sure they close things out as a guarantee. I just want to see on the replay what happened at the beginning of the round, because that basically dictated the entire...
You are mad. You're mad. Not even a smoke, bro.
Oh, no.
They're out in the open.
Yeah, they did see them out in the open just crossing. That's just a mistake from NRG. Yeah, awkward time to be dropping down there.
Very.
Very awkward. All right, EDG just make that one look easy, and that's a nice little confidence booster pistol round to win, to forget your woes of map 1 and
obviously
back into this swinging.
Expediency plenty of span through smokes. NRG have their characteristic double scan initiator. Obviously they have the KO on this map, which is fairly unique to them, but no one really does it like Ethan.
Well, Chichu definitely knows that they pushed out of A. That was a lot of footsteps that he was hearing, so EDG just accelerate into this site. That's awkward.
Right in front of Scuba. Won't be able to find a second, though. Scuba had no information of anything that was happening outside of his direct sphere of influence there. So there'll still be a spike stick. 2 players top mid for NRG. Obviously not board up whatsoever. Right-click central, anybody? Summer smokes. Here's Marta, steps up, brought down instantly. Som suffers a similar fate. And Brook will be on the outside looking in.
Spike planted.
EDG really play with some patience here, just ensure that they get those NRG players actually dealt with before the spike goes down. Don't offer them a timing to go over some aggression while planting. Just take it nice and easy. Claim the kills. Hong Kong working decently towards that dimensional drift early as well. Has 4 orbs.
Might be worth keeping an eye on Brook as this game progresses. Is he someone who I think has maybe brought the Odin spam back into vogue in America?
The Odin has been the hallmark of NRG's success on defense, especially in the map pool we have right now with Corrode, Ascent, and Lotus. All maps where the scan initiator thrives with that weapon, and Brock is absolutely one of the best and easily one of the most frustrating players to play against when he picks it up. That is absolutely something that EDG are going to need to be very prepared for.
Yeah, it just makes fighting for mid so brazenly like they did on the pistol not really a safe option.
Every wall on A is
God,
easily
these guys are
spammable.
so lucky.
Can just fight spamming all of the corners, deny trade swings to come in because you're getting stalled by the bullets, slowed down. It's very frustrating to deal with, and he's, of course, picked it up already.
It's got to be said, though, EDG coming back from a bit of a flattener there on Abyss. And done well to get themselves this early lead, converting off the pistol. His bonus, though, features, Marshall, mix of sheriffs. There's still a Guardian here for Smoggy.
Okay, Crash goes up mid, but that is just fake.
And evidently, there's an appropriate amount of respect for the Odin given by EDG.
Yeah, they are taking their time right now, working both extremities of the map now. Both B main and A main control. Safe from NRG. They don't want to throw anything away right now. Peek from Mata, though. That's very aggro. Just runs into two players. Shot down.
This likely allows for a spike scoop up and maybe even move over to the B side.
Yeah, they've got that full control on that side of the map.
Yeah, no rotates pulled.
You know, on this execute, players could get stalled out on account of mollies and the choke.
He's going to walk up again?
Yeah, well,
he's got a 0 point.
Spot out the north.
Dangerous. Jenny wants to slide on in. It looks like they want to force the issue, but Snoop is waiting in the corner yet again. He's found 3. Oh, man. Float like a butterfly, sting like a Mack truck.
30 seconds
Bro was
left.
poised and waiting for that. Another little rat spot for Scuba pays off.
That is one sight anchor that you never want to run into. That duo of Scuba and Brock have been so potent for these NRG defensive sides while anchoring. They certainly didn't get to show that off on Abyss, but I think on this map, Corrode,
10 seconds left.
and multiple other maps in the pool, they are definitely the standouts in that regard.
Yeah, we saw Ethan and Brock mostly on that A side on defense. But that definitely puts a stop to some of the plans from EDG, and obviously not enough time in the round here to make anything happen for it. So NRG pleased with this result, win the round, lose one gun, keep the Odin, and flatten EDG as they attempt to be here.
Not too bad considering they lost Mata very early on there off that little A main push that he went on early.
Yeah, bro likes to simmer a little bit before he really comes alive. He's like sea monkeys. You got to add some water, let it go for a couple of days, and bam. Instant entertainment, just add water.
That is a little bit chaotic. And Scuba handles it with some poise. All right, EDG, they are gathered up towards B main at the moment. Taking that space quite early yet again. Pop flash over so Scuba can get that peek.
Nothing to be seen though, as EDG are actually playing pretty conservatively on the B side.
Kong Kong was tucked behind that wall, so not spotted out. Prowler has to be used now for the reclear. Someone could have posted up in main.
Now, Brock is over at A this time around. Scuba with wild off angle here. He's rewarded it again. God, what a problem he's been.
Can he actually get out? I mean, he's overwhelmed by Util, and Ethan is now into support.
And he's safely back in halls. Ethan can now post up.
Kong Kong is down to 1 HP, tucked in the corner.
How does he get out of here? Spike loose as well. Plenty of time board for all the King's horses and men to arrive on the site. Can EDG put this back together? At least be able to drop to the site, but God, pushing any further than where Kong Kong is should be lethal.
The NRG, they're not rushing this. They're just playing off this crossfire setup.
Tichu straight in the eyes of Scuba. Guy has been unflappable so far. And smoke refreshed here from Tower. Kong Kong was 1 HP, so a strong breeze would have blown him over. Mata with some overkill, steps out and finds Smoggy with nothing but the silverware in hand. And a flawless round posted by NRG.
That was as dominant as it gets. Scuba, again, this anchoring on the B site. Little bit of a change from the prior, of course, where he's tucked in the corner. This time, yeah, plays that off angle. Gets the spot just before the wall is fully activated. That was a collat that brought Kong Kong down to 1. And then Ethan gets right in. And I love how they play this. They just set up that backside crossfire. They don't over-aggress. They just play it patient. They allow for the rest of the team to rotate in.
And EDG tries to get something going before the rotators get there, so they at least have a shot.
And they just can't. They just can't with that NRG setup. And now EDG, they are relegated to a very peculiar buy. With a Bucky, just a frenzy for nobody. It's back into this B site. Scuba denies it yet again.
Confident up on the angle. Once again, Jenny just dashes on him like Wave on Rock. Smoggy wants to inch forward here. It looks like EDG are priced into this wire one way or another.
NRG, they can just, again here, kind of take their time, wait for everyone to group up. This time play for that full retake. They have a lot of tools to do, and Nightfall goes through that link, but what can they get off of it? Nothing really. EDG.
I'm not sure if they caught onto anyone.
They want to double up and spawn.
Mata, oh, the double ping is pretty good. Very lightning. Som able to back up Mata. Converts that kill, and inside the dark cover, Soggy has to succumb. Ethan being a troll, a nuisance, a real problem. Thorn in the side, if you will. And NRG on a bit of a roll here on defense now that they've found their footing.
We've seen this NRG team in situations like this, getting the ball rolling on defense, completely taking over the game, and being an absolute wall for the attackers. This time, going into Scuba yet again, 3 rounds in a row, and 3 rounds in a row, he's finding kills anchoring. That's Ginny just overextended, no one able to support, goes down, and then NRG retreat. They're able to play for the retake.
Hey, why are they testing the kid, man?
It's a great question.
Referring to yourself in the third person, I'm impressed. This has got to be a timeout for EDG, surely.
And Scuba is sat at 8 kills already, has the Viper's Pit. On his global debut, absolutely know the style EDG have here.
And something I'm looking for from EDG is just how they put together their set plays on the attack side, because against Shilai Gaming, they win the Thrifty in round 2 of both attack and defense half. Pretty good, at least regionally, at dealing with that gun disadvantage. Not a factor in this round, they have to buy it. Want to see more from them.
A lot of spam coming down mid. Brock playing in that A Link, just dispensing his various pieces of utility to get some info as to what EDG's plan in mid is, and there isn't much of one. They've retreated after spamming, after making all that noise to get into A main, take all of that space.
All right, convergent paths being wound up
Wow,
with
this could be potent. The convergent paths with the Odin spam.
Yeah, that hindrance buff could be a debuff, rather, could be a huge issue for EDG if they try and break through a main. He's that dimensional drift though for Kung. He's going to get ahead of the game to some degree. And here comes the pass now. Ready to fight is Mata. Jenny falls back and hindered down. Got to be a follow-up at some point, and Mata does not want to overextend. Knows that EDG waiting on the other side of this wall, but doesn't serve them anything up for free until Jenny steps up and sits down. Brock with the Odin! It's a devastating combination, and it's knocked EDG down to 2 players.
30 seconds
Wow,
left.
what a shot from Chichu. Just pops out of the smoke with some rapid pace. Scuba is on a very late wrap towards A main, so Ethan going to need to bide his time, but he's actually just forced into the duel. EDG take it to him with both players, but do they expect Scuba this late?
Scuba, just so you know, we're going to test the boy again. One more time.
That was the kid, I believe.
Oh, the kid. Sorry.
The boy works as well.
8 and 3 already. 6 rounds in. A lot on his plate, but Chichu's gobbled up instantly. That was out to Kung into the finest cuisine on offer here from EDG. Time, though, not on Scuba's side. It doesn't seem to matter. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and it goes rolling. Scuba steps up to sit Kung down.
It may just be time to stop testing Scuba. Relentless right now on Corrode. Supreme anchoring on that B site into the 1 versus 2 clutch. But I do want to talk about prior in this round, the moment from Brock, which was after the convergent paths were used, really stalled out EDG's effort to get into that A site. And then once they are finally able to kind of go for that second wave entry, they're hit by the saturate as well, and that's when Brock just pops off. Chill as ever. Ice cold as we've seen him on the run to get here.
That brand of nonchalance only seen in NA Zoomers. It pays off for NRG. Kung working towards yet another dimensional drift. Sorry, 0 point off the rip. That conveyed a little bit of info to Ethan.
It's another half buy here for EDG. Couple rifles, couple stingers, no ultimates to their name just yet. Maybe Genie could get an overdrive active in this round.
Mata with the timing.
Yeah, just expected another step forward, but it was 1 step back there.
They're going to test the kid again.
This site has been uncrackable, but they are going for it. They're running into Scuba. He's got the molly ready. He's forced to retreat on account of that relay pull. Genie spotted out by Ethan, but no opportunity to really face into that.
Yeah, could have had him gobbled up though. He got his walk though. Dangerous place to be up against the Odin, and Jenny is on the receiving end.
Oh, that's a crazy adjustment. They still have to deal with Scuba here, and Ethan doubled up, high-low.
Perfect. Wasn't even needed there. Scuba very comfortable from that spot. Brock eventually though was brought down. Still no plan. Nobody has to stick it here.
Chichu miles away, has to get through B main. Smoke's coming down now from Ethan. Paranoid as well connects.
The setup was perfect. Ethan picks off nobody like it's nobody's business. And Chichu now has to play off the side entirely. Retake wall being toggled in his way, that's a factor. But Ethan is taken down handily. Now the Leviathan's pit is set up for him to get back in. Risky business. Som's looking to get this to half and likely to get off. It's outside of the pit. Dangerous as Chichu shows himself with the tracers. And Som blows into smithereens.
Just a commitment to testing this B site and failing from EDG yet again. NRG, the way that they're adjusting their setups with those 2 anchors of Ethan and Scuba, and consistently able to buy time for the rotates to come through. The support from Brock was right in time. That was a pretty nasty adjustment onto the swing from Ginny. And then after the fact, though, they just can't get into backside. We've seen this on multiple occasions. The backside is fully controlled by Ethan and Scuba. That time a high-low on a prior round of Crossfire.
Chichu, though, brimming with confidence, even in that 1 versus 3, spends the Viper's Pit in order to give him a way back into the B side.
A lot of confidence, but also feels like desperation. We need to get around on the board, and I'm going to try to do whatever it takes to claw for it. And it's all for naught. That ultimate just thrown to the wind.
Proper buy here, though. Late 0 point should tell a lot. Catch on to 2 in mid, and the Neon spotted, crucially.
There are 4 ultimates available for NRG on this round. Scuba has pivoted towards this A site.
Oh, that's a tag on the clone by the looks of things. Nothing off that Hunter's Fury, but Scuba now preemptively throws a Viper's Pit down on the A side. This isn't enough yet to deter EDG. They may exit via a link, though.
Yeah, all of it encompassed by that. All the EDG feeling pressure to retreat.
Oh, Scuba's here? Let's go the other one.
Yeah, genuinely, time to go to B, but now you're going to deal with Brock with that Odin and a total lack of main control. You know, when they come in, Brock could try to go for some spam, retreat back to elbow, and then Mata has the cross with this opposite push onto it. Oh, like another wall, it's bad, Jenny!
Very low. Somehow alive, though. Mata gets traded out. Chichu and nobody get involved in that engagement, and Brock is still looking for a way to make use of the Odin. It's Ethan stepping up. Brock down. Odin threat neutralized. Kang deals with Ethan, who won't be brought back into the game anytime soon. Now Scuba and Som had to put it together. One in tower, the other coming from top mid. And that's crucial. This kill here is everything. Kang not ready for the swing, but still recovers in time. And even found Ethan off the backside.
And now there's this wrap coming in. Ginny getting into elbow. Som has to drop, has to make some sound, and beautiful, beautiful. Perfect moment for the swing. EDG finally get one on the board after that 5-round drought. It just comes from pressuring A into the pivot towards B, not running into Scuba. And honestly, I want to see this kill from nobody onto Mata. Yeah, finding that instant trade was massive. I mean, imagine if Mata, even with low HP, just gets back around the corner. There was no one who would have been able to kill him. He could have just posted up in main. That would have been so difficult for EDG to deal with.
The sick from Kang.
Yeah, and then that 3K is beautiful. Beautiful stuff.
And also the null commanding Ethan is not in a position for that ultimate to have any effect. So he spares his team the suppression and gets 3.
So many ultimates used in that round for NRG. None of them in any serious level of value. And this has put EDG in a situation where they can get back in this game. Now they're the one with the ultimates advantage.
NRG has managed to spot nothing down mid yet. Mata hasn't pushed up for a swing. Trying to wait patiently on this. Som is very far forward though in yard. Trying to reposition himself.
That's a
clone.
Case of that flash here. Now obviously spotted out by this dimensional drift. Som is on the retreat towards site. Mata needs to get out of there with that light speed under a lot of pressure. But the saturate buys some time.
Mata actually swung into that. That is completely unhinged. Not going to be able to connect though. That's the Horde in play. 0 point catches 3 EDG players. They want to keep this going.
Look at this triple face from NRG to try and hold backside. Som goes down early.
That's not been swung into yet.
Yeah, EDG, they don't fully commit. They're just planting for offsite to play from yard, play from lane.
Only playing where they have information, and it's Ethan that actually stepped up into the line of sight. Mata with a shorty, not close enough. He's in deep trouble, tries to switch weapons, but he's leapt upon instantly. And as good as Scuba's been, he has been put out of the action this round.
And now it is going to be time for him to save. Ethan is on very low cash, so they would love to be able to make sure that they can get 5 rifles going into this. Next one just retreats towards spawn. EDG, they finally stop the bleeding, get back into the game. They made the right decision in that execute in terms of where they were planting, how they were playing off of the spike. They didn't overcommit. If they had, they would have went right into that NRG triple face stack up backside, but they don't get baited in.
Really well handled. Don't get carried away with it. Playing off that A side. That's the dimensional drift committed there. But it put Mata in a position where he could not be involved. Great patience considering, I think, a large number of frustrating circumstances have befallen EDG. Not just on this, but also on this map, trying to work that B site. I think they're starting to realize that A might offer a wider array of options for them on the attack side.
Absolutely. It is time to just simply avoid Scuba on this B site. It's been locked down on the left half of the map. Just Focus your attention over on A. 0 point goes down bottom. Mid doesn't catch anyone out from EDG. They waited out, and now they start to press forward.
And no longer is Brock set up top mid to spray through. This time he is out-droning. Through link out to mid and doesn't spot it.
Hi.
Through link out to mid and doesn't spot the player on the other side of the
I don't
wall.
think spotted him, but Kong thought he was. Can't really blame him. Teleports to the team. They're going for the B exec again.
Fast
They're
lane.
testing Scuba again.
Jenny tucked in the corner. Ethan now with the fragment to try and dig him out. Smoggy took some damage from him, but Jenny's going to win the fight at elbow. That's Scuba down. No more Viking util. Turns up to Ethan. Unreal. Nobody's head goes rolling, and he says, why not? In for a penny, in for a pound. Falters.
How does he not trade that? That felt like a sure kill.
Yeah, dangerous now. Chichu at 5, but still very much a
Spike
factor.
planted.
And back into mid has Kong gone.
You can see Kong calming that. He did hear those footsteps behind him. Saw him now through heaven. EDG with an acute awareness of Mada's positioning at the very least.
There's nothing for Som to see here. He sees it. The player below him. Chichu now neutralized. Som could start to cut the side up a little bit with these smokes.
But still, he has to worry a bit about his elbow. You can see he is paranoid. That smoke comes down to Smoggy try to get in front of it. Time is beginning to get very low.
Shock, not enough. And Kong happen to play the low ground. Smoggy exits the round with 2 health. Chichu survives at 5 after Brock tries to trade him. And things just break very well, very favorably for EDG on that B-side hit.
Those were some very snappy, gorgeous shots from Ethan. This little adjustment to the left on nobody was lovely, but
the fact that Genie gets that foothold and finally he's able to take down the Viper on the entry is
that's
massive.
the first time they've been able to immediately deal with Scuba. And unfortunately for Brock, he really looked like he had a sure kill with that Odin. And he tried to go for an aim adjustment, and then he just loses out that duel that he absolutely needed to win on the trade.
Just a raw charisma from Kong. It is palpable to disrupt.
Now what is the play from NRG? EDG have been very willing to press up mid, get that space after and during the wall goes up. Now NRG, they want to fight through it this time. And it has been Kong solo on the effort to take this mid control on most rounds.
No more Odin here for Brock. Down to the Guardian, but playing a similar position. Still good bullet penetration there as NRG want to make full use of the paper mache walls.
Off some contact, Ethan is ready to just flash out. Take this fight towards mid. The dark cover drops so he doesn't need to get out of the way temporarily.
Carter also set up to just stay entrenched here and then respond quickly if there's an A hit. Tough for EDG to get A-link control, but they are going to step forward now.
Prowler alerts them to the lack of players there. Oh, close with the judge.
Brings the gavel down on Chichu and Kong. Now the only option is to try and play through mid as nobody caught inside a conversion pass. Rather Jenny also suffering that hindrance. And so, Smoggy now in a 1v5. All too much to do, but he's made a good start. Knocked down to 6 though, too much damage collaterally. And even though he takes 2 key kills.
30 seconds left.
All but impossible as Ethan from pocket will neutralize him.
Excellent setup from NRG and making that adjustment out of the timeout to fight more targetedly for that mid. And it just pushes those EDG players fighting through A main right into the judge. Som had a nice position there, kind of just tucked in that corner of the dark cover.
A little saturate to clear that corner by Mada.
And then when the split activates, Mada rips that ult in mid. It was well executed.
That puts NRG back in front by a nose. Now they've got the overdrive to stare down from Jenny. EDG hoping maybe for a fast play to get them to parity at the end of this first half.
Brock's got the money to get the Odin activated again.
It's been middling in its impact, I feel.
Which is a rarity for a Brock Odin game, if we're being honest. Now EDG, they buy their time in mid. 0 point does make a couple connections. Now they work their way up. Gate crash all the way at the top of mid. That's just going to be
Faked.
a fake from Kong. But NRG, as far as they know, could be, looking down the barrel of a B split. They've lost all that control.
Yeah, Som though can get back into tower on B side with that ultimate. Able to reinforce pretty effectively, and they're looking to really clear mid now. An odd timing for it. Brock won't see anything though.
EDG's execute stalled out by the mollies on main. Another now from Ethan.
Nobody's dug enough into that corner that the fragment doesn't affect him. Here comes a paranoia, and in they come. 3 spotted off that 0 point, and Ethan needs to get the work again. It's going to be Jenny up in this corner. Scuba, highly mindful of it this time, and again it's Ethan set up on this corner, brought to pressure from mid with the Odin, but there's no pick, there's no reveal of any of these players, and so we can only spray and pray. Scuba good for 1, always seems to be the case in that position. Jenny's able to get in there and finish the job as he's down to 10.
Pretty shocking, honestly, that EDG are able to make that work, but respect to them. NRG were fully stacked up on that site.
I think vindicating at the end of the first half to return to the scene of the crime and find great success on a very clean B hit, all things considered. Really competitive first half. Great to see that recovery from EDG.
They were able to make the right adjustments at the right time when it looked like things were just spiraling out of control, and we've got another close game.
Ball from Corrode on the other side of these messages.
Enemy remains.
His best, still feeling good about himself. Crucial, and allows EDG eventually to figure out how to break that NRG B-side hold before the end of the half.
The last time we saw NRG playing attack on Corrode, they got 11 rounds against Sentinels in that lower bracket final. Absolute dominance. Can they repeat a performance like that? Are EDG ready to stave off how strong they are on this side of the map?
We saw Smoggy was the highlight player of Abyss. A little quieter to start this one off. And Brock as well, someone who we sort of hyped up a little bit, said watch out when he gets the Odin in his hands.
Yeah.
Wasn't really able to do much with
it.
it.
For a very good reason, but
Time to jump.
Yeah, not this time around.
said it was a rarity that he didn't get a lot of value with it, and that is the genuine truth. Very uncommon that he's not able to put up numbers with that weapon. NRG, they're pivoting over towards this A side, have Scuba as a late lurk posted up in mid. Here comes the utils, 0 point broken, but Dark covers in, and the dash from Mata.
Oh, light speed gets Mata right in Chichu's face, and he has to give up that space, but Mata is not going to let him get away that easily. Now into the side, it's already getting broken up by some of these dark covers, and Mata finds yet another one. It's blistering pace from NRG. And they're at least half control of A. Still Smoggy at large, but a quieter game from him. He'd have to step up, and he takes a hit through the masonry. He has to stand up here and give his best.
Certainly wouldn't be an NRG series if we don't get a Mata ace in it.
Gonna fall back here.
And the man has produced them with uncanny frequency in Americas.
Yep, he is the all-time ace leader in the region, but Smoggy on for another pistol clutch, but denied by Som at the last moment.
Closer than NRG would have liked it to be, but you can see what Waylay offers you in these situations. Break that crosshair placement, threaten to overwhelm you very quickly. That's just a pistol round. But you can see the idea from NRG, who want to make use of this guy. A real lightning bolt out there on the field.
It gets that first. There was a really cool little flash thrown at the ground from Ethan as well that fully blinded nobody, so Mata could get an easy second on that side anchor.
Good job, boys. Good job, boys.
Man, if Smoggy did it again, he was so close.
So I'm able to stand up there and be the neutralizing presence NRG needed.
Stabilizes for the team, and now they have that second round bye, which involves a couple rifles, a couple pistols, and the one stinger for Mata on this entry towards Link in prime position to get his, but it's a fight down mid from EDG.
Kang wants a bit of it,
Spike down
and he's already collected up 2 of those sheriff kills. Doesn't want to give up the space quite yet either. He gate crashes over to B, but there is an insert of Smoggy left top mid. NRG suspected, and of course have the penetrative power of the Vandal to try and dig him out.
And they're able to pick up the important guns onto some of the players who did just have pistols, and now go for the rotate towards that B side. A B side where the gate crash from Kong has just been thrown to, so can get a fairly fast rotate there if necessary. EDG, they do want to commit to the effort of holding mid, catching a player there.
You see how important it was that Scuba stays alive in that early trade. It allows NRG to get out of mid, and Kong's none the wiser that they're headed to be.
Convergent paths already from Mata. Wants to commit them just to ensure that they close this round out.
Well, a fair guess to assume there'd be an entrenched defender here for EDG.
And honestly, when you get them on round 2, I guess, sure, just send them. Let's make sure we win.
I believe we call that easy come, easy go, right? We'll play off the site. Back and right on up here. Mata, of course, has a light speed to get in. No refract, though, to get out. It's planted obviously pretty well out in the open. That dark cover's about to dissipate. Chichu spotted, dancing the boxes in the background. There's a flash, but no attempt to actually play through it for NRG. Martel's hoping to get some information from above that wall, but sees very little. There's a gap here that Kang might look to exploit. Not quite quick enough in the trigger finger, though. It's the Vandal that gets the better of him, and now Marta will step up for real. Some big frags in this second half. And NRG convert. Only one gun taken out of the round.
And much like the pistol, Smoggy just suddenly collects 2 at the end of the round. Significant damage done, and it'll be curious to see what the commitment economically from NRG will be now that we're heading towards EDG's first full buy. I mean, when you go into the bonus with the double rifle, double pistol, you're hoping to get a pretty legit bonus by going with rifles. That is not going to be the case.
No, there's going to have to be some...
I mean, unless they just hard force it.
No, Bulldog here, some on a Sheriff. Nobody instantly over towards the Odin as well.
So it is a mixed kind of half-buy, really fast from Mata getting into that link. 0 point confirms a lack of presence. Kong with the mid-swing. It's the first one to Ethan.
Makes it work with the Bulldog of all things. Mata just a little bit haphazard there, steps out into a double face. Very far ahead of the rest of NRG on a solo mission that goes wrong.
No desire to slow down. NRG not able to get off that A main ground to assist in time. Now look at this stack up from EDG. This should absolutely shred NRG when they round this corner.
Time for the kid to test the champs, I think. Relay Bolt's going to slow them up. There's a ping, though, on Jenny around the corner. Shock Dart to soften up Smoggy, who waded into its area of effect.
It gets a good amount of damage off onto these 2 players, but still, they are committed to just holding this together.
EDG also not moving off that B side yet. Swinging the double face. The dark cover breaks it up, though. Jenny down. This is dangerous now. Kang puts it to bed. Up to a casual 17 kills, leading from the front.
Begins as well, taking that ISO'd fight against Ethan in mid. That's just in this moment, flash out of that wall, didn't connect onto Kong, and Mata so aggro in that moment. Seemed that he really thought he could catch one player, but I mean, even if he gets out first, there's an instant trade coming. It was very aggressive, and he got punished for it.
You've mentioned that NRG's group in Americas was populated by a lot of double duelist teams, but this might be the most talented team of that style they've had to go up against.
They're going up against the man that has the all-time BO5 kill record. All right, nobody with an instant frag onto Mata, who used that light speed to get in, saw him in a really cheeky position.
Mata just crumpled there. That is all of the bark out of NRG. What is some dude from here? G2 heads upstairs and says, "You're not supposed to be here."
Yeah, this attempt from NRG to go for a crazy, fast site exec with the teleport with the light speed is all for naught. Okay, Scuba somehow wins that out. Pretty shocked that he's able to do so.
Was able to get his gun up in time, but he's mindful that Jenny might have dropped down behind him. Kang's just causing problems all across the map here.
Yeah, it feels like he's in the walls at the moment. Brock is going to be able to get the spike plant down, but surely this is unwinnable. Actually, denied even of that by the utility coming through the haunt from the fade.
Comes Kang again. Still a plant. That's what Scuba has to work with, but he has 85 health. He's got 4 able-bodied individuals standing in between him and a round win. Make it 3. Tap on the spike, surely Kang. No, head ripped off. There's something here, Scuba. Surely not.
Oh my God, he had the crosshair placement perfect as well. Nobody was just fast enough. Oh my God.
That would have been the most degenerate thing I think I've seen. Yeah, frustrating for Scuba. Tantalizingly close to a legendary moment.
You do not see crosshair placement get better than that. Oh my God, he was ready as well. He had it in the perfect spot to get that kill. But he was just a millisecond too slow.
Too low. Frustrating. That's definitely not something you want to weigh on you.
Oh my God.
He's having an insane performance. Nobody again early with the spray through those walls. Brook suffers as a result. An orb still secured for the attack side. Scuba just blowing off steam, maybe.
Oh, Mata didn't want to instantly swing through, was hoping that not revealing himself would allow him to get the trade. But it isn't the case. And this round is as good as done for NRG. EDG on for taking the lead in this game.
And that aura around NRG feels like starting to falter a little bit. The stopping power of these EDG defenders has unraveled them on multiple occasions. Some are simply seeing what he can get for his money.
Kong really just feeling himself at this point, hungry to take more fights, hungry to get more kills.
Sees Decade's down, TP across the way. Chichu mindful of it though. And Brock obviously completely elsewhere, fighting his own demons.
Headed into this next round. Want to take a look at the status of some of these ults because they are getting online for NRG, and can't say the same for EDG on the opposing side. This is a real opportunity for the team from Americas to put a gun round win together. They have that null command to get into a site. They have the Viper's Pit to close out a post plant. Two potent ultimates that, if used effectively, should get them to 9 rounds.
Got to be mindful, of course, of what nobody's doing early in some of these rounds. Marta with the fast play over towards Link. Now, last time he just walked out and got picked off, so we'll see.
And this is a pretty standard open from NRG, but does he expect a recler coming already from EDG?
Hi.
From NRG, but does he expect a recler coming already from EDG? 3 players in mid.
No one covers him from bottom in here. He is alone in this position. And alone he will fall. Now they make control firmly in the hands of EDG. Null command now as the acceleration is the response into this B side, and nobody cannot stand.
He really overstays his welcome, maybe expecting even that a dark cover would have been thrown there, but it wasn't. And now the pit goes down. Now it's into the 4-on-4.
A lot of side control. You've got 2 players from NRG forging already into back holes.
Scuba needs to stay alive though. Kong needs this kill desperately, but Brock ready on the angle to support.
Odin in hand as well. That's going to be a problem when we come to this post-plant scenario. A very timely 0.6, 3 top mid.
This is a great reposition from Psalm as well, getting into heaven. The backstab can activate at any given moment.
Jenny's going to try and accelerate over towards main, but there's far too high density of players here. Chichu in the pit, fighting for his life. Surely he knows he's better off playing from outside and keeping this gun in hand. Spots Som in tower, and he will be judged.
And it is those 2 ultimates being used to perfect effect. The pit, the null command. I did really like this play though from EDG. Mata dashing up into that link and staying committed to the position is something that he's done before.
Yep.
And so they're able to just isolate him completely to get that opening kill. It was a great idea.
It's not the first time Mata's been very much out at sea alone in some of those early scenarios.
It was just unfortunate that nobody goes down playing in heaven. I think, thought maybe the dark cover was coming. Not exactly sure, but that was an important kill for NRG to pick up. Regardless off, finally in the hands of Kong Scuba, removed instantaneously.
Absolutely brazen. Bro basically bathed in that molly from the Viper. Was happy to trade a little bit of health for the kill.
Mata on the verge of getting the conversion pass. Just 1 orb required at this point.
Won't do a whole lot to Kong, who's perched up here waiting for a push through B main. Mid really not explored at all for NRG yet. Jenny with a fairly safe posting top mid.
Gotta go.
Shoulder peeking at regular intervals as Ethan is yet to show himself.
Brock, a bit of a reclear towards A main. NRG have really slowed the pace at the moment. They need to commit a dark cover to obscure this top mid view. Danger. Virginia goes down to half HP.
Just warning shots though, but NRG are looking to scale up this mid control now. This is about to get ugly.
EDG, they want to pop out of this potentially. Smoggy on the angle.
Multi-face, there's got to be some action here in mid, and there is. Jenny and Nobody able to find 1 each.
30 seconds.
I mean, unfortunately,
The
Ethan
saturate.
and Mata, they're hindered.
All right, there it is. Light
Oh,
speed.
that is criminal.
Snaps the crosshair positioning entirely. Now Kong, who was positioned up in tower, gave up that spot to play back through spawn.
And now Ethan planting for Mata to keep playing in that link.
How aware are they of the tower position? What is that from Ethan? 5 points of health. Well, 4 more than he needed.
That is just a pixel shot from Ethan. I can't believe NRG win out that mid fight. EDG have 3 players ready to activate on that contact from Smoggy. They fight in the smoke and they lose out. I mean, that is just a disgusting way to be able to get the fight isolated. What is that shot? Oh my god,
Ethan!
same reaction.
Give me something, bro. Good jumps at him.
Now, you talked about the ultimate trough for EDG. They were suffering. Well, now it's very much the opposite. However, the weaponry isn't quite there to match it.
Wow, instant dimensional drift from Kong used right down mid. He does spot out every single player.
Gate crashes over at Tau. He doesn't want to go back that far.
Now the question is to what avail, right? But it is now allowing EDG to walk all the way up and position themselves in B main at the very least. They have full control. And if there's a pivot back from NRG to B, it could be dangerous. You have nobody taking contact, and then Ginny tucked in the corner with the stinger. But NRG, they're slowing down the pace of the game now.
Rourke obviously mindful of this. Sat watching from the bottom of mid.
A lot of damage dealt to Smoggy and Ethan, respectively, in that little exchange.
NRG, of course, aware that the weaponry isn't where it needs to be on the EDG camp. Ginny can supplement, of course, with an overdrive if you want to commit more into this half-bought round.
Here.
Kung chilling in pocket.
Smoke's being cycled on main. Of course, it's Paranoia ready to go from Smoggy, but it is temporarily deactivated.
That's a nice little fragment there on Kung. He takes a bit of damage, has to step up, and now looking to play off this Paranoia. Chichu forced back. Paranoia comes from NRG. Now they're going to assert themselves on their way over towards the A side, and Marta's good for it. Chichu posted up, completely flashed. And nobody has to work his way in from mid.
Do you see that counter util from NRG after they're hit by that Paranoia? Immediately, Paranoia of their own, synchronized with that Saturate coming through. The two anchoring players blinded, hindered, and from there they are just deleted with absolute ease from Mata press forward.
Obviously outside of the fact that NRG take another big step towards a series win, it's a buff around economically where they don't suffer any casualties to the sheriff buy of EDG. Can build that foundation a little bit more. Now Convergent Paths comes online for Mata, gives them something to say in the conversation of ultimates, whereas EDG is still ready to leverage many of them to get back to winning ways.
Yeah, Ethan did throw out that going to be an accelerated B hit from NRG, throw in the Convergent Paths. Maybe again, Psalm goes for a from the shadows, TP's forward. He tried it last time.
I'm watching some frenetic pings from NRG in this direction. Looks like they want to hit this one hard and fast. Kung falls back, spotted out by the Al drone. Here's the Convergent Path. Smarta still has that in the back pocket, no. He actually refracts it out of the sight.
Yeah, they want to draw out some of this initial utility, and they do it effectively. Now, what is the pace on the re-hit? It's immediate with the Convergent Paths.
But it doesn't cover the elbow players. Marta's still able to get in there and find Jenny. Brought down early in the round. Kung out of the open. Dragged off his horse. And now Nobu's going to fight his way out. That is sharp shooting. The Scuba falls, but he's not ready for the close swing from Som. And so it falls to Chichu. As it has so often in this series. A gun round that EDG really pinned so many of their hopes on. It's up to him.
Just wants to get out of the smoke ASAP. Has the timing for the fight with Som. No instant swing.
Can he find his way through? Ethan close on the corner. Mata there for a double swing. It's not to be. And so EDG are going to have to force to stay in the series.
They try to flood in with that Nightfall. They have all the players there. It's absolute pandemonium on the site. I can't believe NRG get ahead. Sick kill from Mata. Scuba scales in quite quickly. And that drop from Kong just a little bit too late. The timing's just not there with the flood off that Nightfall. And they're picked apart one by one. NRG have a great re-hit. Getting in with the Convergent Pass after extracting util with that fake first hit.
Smoggy has no armor at all. Force the Vandal.
Just a glass cannon Vandal. Chichu playing within the pit to control all of B main.
Brock still wants to tap this orb, hoping that Chichu will show some traces here.
Brock does get it. Yeah, a little bit of danger to have the Vandal in that pit, not gonna lie. So Chichu doesn't go for much of a spam effort at all. In fact, doesn't spam at all. Kong is peeking through mid.
Yeah.
NRG, they're on the cusp of taking this series 2-0 after being down 11-2 on the first map.
We're looking for some prime 2024 Kung here. If EDG are going to have a shot in this game. Gate crash out, realize he doesn't really have the tools. Scuba, who's had a phenomenal series, a great map, has got himself nestled up towards A main.
Ethan walking his way up mid towards this link flash to get some of that space to apply some pressure. The majority of this NRG hit going to come through A main off this wall.
This provokes the re-clear of Link from nobody. Sends the Prowler in. So we're all lined up for A main. A hard hit coming in from NRG. It's going to be Mata first with a light speed. Ginny though tucked in that corner. Deals with the waylay. Now though, all of them lit up. It doesn't seem to matter. It's Brock with the Odin. Only gets the one. And the 0 point not able to be made use of. Brock's in trouble, big trouble. And EDG fire back right when it matters.
That was excellent counter utility from EDG to stop that hit in its tracks. The that paranoia from Smoggy had a serious connection. I mean, look at Mata. He was just blinded up. Didn't know where he was looking. Didn't know where he was dashing. Stun connection as well. Beautiful, beautiful stoppage power.
And in the end, Ethan doesn't want to try and split A from Link. He flashes it, clears at least the first part of it, but then doubles back to join NRG for a flood through A main that gets stopped in its tracks.
All right, NRG with 2 opportunities to close out this map. Mata back to this fast late take. Does bait out the paranoia and just refracts back to bottom mid. Wants to gather up with NRG, the rest of the squad who are poised to execute onto this B site. Brock could have a Hunter's Fury and a post plant potentially. He's just 1 orb away and he's going to get that in main.
Kangkang's gate crash here at B puts him right in the middle of the action if he's going to respond to a site.
And he is in.
Okay, Albert Elite hide behind the orb and now ready to fight! So far, not so shabby. Chichu's able to back him up and go 3 for 1. Now this leaves Scuba and Brock having to fight for it. Spray through the corner! What? How do they get the second? Okay. Brock up on the side, Spike stuck. Scuba ready and has to go 1v2 on this swing out of elbow. Brock is not in a position to double up with him. Horn popped. Now he'll double back. Prowler gonna come around the corner. Brock spots the player jump on the side. It's gonna be Jenny. Scuba has to deal with him now. Overdrive at the ready and long range. Jenny picks Brock off. EDG are far from done.
And that overdrive is just too much to deal with. But what a play from Kong. That brazen confidence just sends it into the site. Pop flashes for himself.
How did Smoggy die? Brock scrapes 2 players down instantly with his overdrive.
Chichu and Kong do such a great job.
Oh my God.
God, that is sick. Yeah, this overdrive, though, just too strong in a situation like that.
Oh my God, he's so
Some frustration there for NRG, just trying to put this game to bed before EDG take it over.
And now, Jux, will this be the final round of this series? Can NRG make it through, remaining in this upper bracket?
Hush over the audience now.
Back in a flat.
The weight of this round is clearly felt. Now, where are we at? Okay, he got out somehow. Refracting away with 6 health.
Wanted to get some information for this Hunter's Fury, but there's not even a tag from Brock. Nobody in mid, he's just ready for the lurk.
No check of mid. Scuba now off the map and Mata down to 6. A grim start to this one.
But nobody, he just hunts for more. He gets greedy and he gets punished.
Kang now that sole player in mid. Jenny making his way toward connector. But NRG still have their Omen in the game. Still have the util to put together a hit on B. And that's going to put Chichu yet again to the test.
And that dark cover is thrown up mid from Ethan to kind of make it seem like they could be working up there, but Kong knows that that is nonsense. He's pushed all the way down, but the pressure will be on Chichu. He's playing from elbow. He takes a lot of damage. A risk to get the molly off.
He doesn't want to give up this position. He's trying to hold it for as long as he can, but he eventually realizes he's got to concede.
Yeah, just routed over towards heaven. Wants to hold elbow to the best of his ability, and NRG, they're going to swarm him. They want to overwhelm this position.
They're running out of time.
They take it now. They slow down.
There's going to be players coming from top mid. Chichu can still set up here in tower. There's the paranoia, and that's the signal to go. Mata clipped by the para. Chichu here knows Ethan is going to be sniffing at his heels, and on the side, Brock at least finds one. Needs more. There's Ethan. Now can make his way out with Sob. Disrupts the defuse, and Ethan puts it to bed. And his hand, it starts in 2023.